Welcome to BT's newly redesigned equipment tracker. Your equipment tracker will allow you to track mileage and hours on any type of equipment, including running shoes, bikes, chains, tires, anything. It will also put up a warning in your training log if you're nearing 15% of your specified time or distance, meaning that you either want to replace those shoes when they're getting too many miles on them, you want to take your bike in for maintenance, etc. We've also added a few new features to this equipment tracker that'll directly integrate into your gear reviews or the classifieds form, which you probably won't find anywhere else. So where do you find the equipment tracker? As in this screen, the equipment tracker will be found in Settings, Training Log Settings, and Equipment Tracker. You can also go to your training log, and if you're in the default blog view, just scroll down and your equipment is in the right sidebar. All you have to do is click on the plus button and it will take you to your equipment tracker. There's a third way to get to your equipment tracker. It's when you're actually logging a workout. So if you go to log a workout via your calendar or training blog, you will see that you can add equipment in any of the sports. So let's go through the steps that'll take you to add some equipment. We'll just go to the settings and we'll see add an item. And I want to add a second pair of shoes, Asics Gel Kayanos. A lot of people like to keep more than one running shoe in rotation, so we just select the manufacturer, Asics, and you do not necessarily have to fill out anything in the category. It may just narrow down your search. These are all the different Asics that are in the system. There's my Gel Kayano 14. Here's the new one down at the bottom. I want to configure it. Now these shoes, I want to specify a color because these are yellow. That's how I keep track of my shoes. They were equipped today. You need to put in the right date so it starts tracking your mileage and hours appropriately. These are new shoes, so my starting distance and hours are 0. If you are coming from another training log or if there's already miles on your equipment, when you started tracking, you can specify a starting distance or hours so they get tracked. I do want to deselect the sports that I will not be using this piece of equipment, so doing that, this equipment will only show up when I'm adding in a run. Another cool feature of the equipment tracker is that you can insert comments anytime, noting any issues you have with your equipment. Let's use the Valdora AC Trod bike as an example. Drop chain today, take to bike shop. Press insert comment and it'll note it with the date, the hours, and the miles that this happened. And you can keep adding comments and it'll keep saving them. So you have a list of all your maintenance or any issues with your equipment. The sort order is the sort order that it will be specified when you're adding a workout. So it's just if you got several shoes, different types of shoes, or any other shoe equipment, depending on how often you use them, you want the sort order to specify where you want them to show up. And we always want to click update. And there we go. That's our newest piece of equipment, 0 hours and 0 miles. And you can change any of these parameters anytime by going back in and clicking on the plus next to each piece of equipment. You have just added your equipment to your equipment tracker. Now to log it when you log a workout. So you just go to your training log, hit training, or you can do this via the calendar view. And it should show up here when you add your equipment. So I ran 30 minutes today. I have to select it Make sure you select it every time you log, and you can hold down the control key to multi-select different equipments. Ran in San Juan Park today. Okay, we save it, and you will see that it starts tracking your hours and mileage in the sidebar or in your main listing. Another cool feature of the equipment tracker is that you can list all of your workouts associated with a particular piece of equipment. Using the Valdora AC Tri bike as an example, I click on Show All Workouts and get a listing. There's pagination to the right. If you have more than one page of workouts, the most current workouts go to the later pages. So for instance, we have the distance for each workout, the time, the pace for each workout, and then you have the cumulative total time and the cumulative total distance. Going into an individual piece of equipment, you can also retire your equipment if you're not going to be using it anymore, but you still want to keep all that data handy, your comments, the links to the workouts. You just hit retire and they will be removed from the main list. And if you want to see any of your retired equipment again, you click on the Show Retired Equipment link. One of the new features of the equipment tracker is it's able to link to the gear reviews or the classifieds forum. So if you're in your active or your retired equipment, you can write a review and it will be submitted automatically to the correct category. So write a review of your equipment. This information is already inputted, and once you submit it, you can read the review in the gear area, and also any other members can read your reviews. You can also sell your equipment directly to the classifieds forum anytime and bring in the appropriate info. So clicking on sell, it will start a post in the classifieds forum. You put in the price and put in any item details here, and you can upload pictures also. Another cool use for your equipment tracker is that anything that you are currently logging, if another member is selling that same item, it will be marked in your training log blog view that it's for sale. For instance, I am currently using the Garmin Forerunner 405 and another user is selling it. This may not be useful for items such as bikes, because who needs two of the same bikes, but it can be useful for running shoes if you want to score another pair of running shoes in your same size for a good price. It can be great for electronics, since electronics don't necessarily last long. They can get damaged. You can pick up another new or used one from another member at a good price. And also, if you think about it, if you're using your equipment and you have a friend or another user that really likes what you're using and is looking for one, and one pops up for sale on your training log, you can tell your friend or user that, hey, I know somebody that has this Garmin Forerunner 405 for sale. I can get a hold of them. So there's several uses for the for sale link in your equipment sidebar of your blog. Clicking on the for sale link will go directly to the current active items for sale in our classifieds forum. Here's a Garmin Forerunner 405 with a heart rate monitor. There you go. And the next coolest feature of this whole integration of the equipment tracker with the gear reviews and classifieds forum is anything in the classifieds forum that has a product review, there's a link right above it. So before purchasing, you can read everything about the product. You can also search for equipment being sold from the gear reviews area and clicking on show only items for sale by members. Here's a listing of all the items for sale by members. So say you are looking for a Kurt Kinetic road machine trainer. And these are the listings of the ones for sale. And you can read about the item for sale and view any gear reviews on it to see if it's right for you. We hope you like the newly redesigned equipment tracker. If you have any questions, just post them in the training log forums. Thank you. Happy logging.